Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And I was until my glass jar exploded over my floor. Anywho, well, besides the my travesty and the glass jar breaking, it seems that we have other problems. It seems the Democrats are being shown to also be breaking their oath. I mean, their oath to the people by ballot harvesting. You think I'm lying? I'm not. See, normally we would think that, they're all conspiracy theory, right? The Republicans, the far left, the far right, or whatever, they were all lying. And I don't even know what the far right is anymore, because anybody from saying don't hurt kids is now considered far right now, whatever that is. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you the actual clip of, this person committing actual primary issues here.
Have been thrown around way too many times in the past few years without any serious evidence to back up those claims. But tonight, an election for mayor has just been thrown out by a judge who concluded that fraud did impact a recent vote and ordered a new election. And it was based on absentee ballots. Happened in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where a state Superior Court judge has just ordered a new election between incumbent Mayor Joe Ganim and his mayoral primary opponent, John Gomez, after Gomez successfully argued that he was the victim of absentee ballot fraud. Stunning video put out by the Gomez campaign appeared to show a Bridgeport city employee and local Democratic Party official walking up to a drop box in the early hours of the morning of September 5th and making multiple deposits of absentee ballots. You can see a woman who the Gomez campaign identifies as Bridgeport City Hall employee Wanda Jeter Patiki walking up to the drop box and placing multiple ballots inside. Then a few seconds later, she comes back, does it again. The Gomez campaign posted this on social media as part of a 3-minute compilation showing irregularities in the vote. That woman was questioned during a court hearing challenging the election results and pleaded the fifth.
It seems like every time we turn our backs around just for 1 second when we're just going to do a little jolly thing and then we turn around 5 seconds later and there's just some Democratic person going absolutely insane. More like committing a crime and, trying to fraud the election. It's almost like something is a little odd happening here, and we probably should be looking at the whole Trump and Biden situation as well, considering the fact that, well, that is seeming a little bit sketchy as well. There's a lot of things going up. Now you can actively see this person, an actual candidate, do stuffing ballots into the thing here. So, it's really insane. And there's even more to this, that the judge has actively ordered a new election and wants some new things to be happening here. And this is the video that you guys can see on the whole situation.
Today, a judge overturned the original election amid concerns about the handling of absentee ballots. But the candidate who pushed the case is hopeful a second primary isn't needed. NBC Connecticut's Matt Austin joins us live now in Bridgeport with reaction. Matt.
Yeah, so Keisha, tonight we are still waiting to hear from the city of Bridgeport as well as Joe Ganim's campaign, but his opponent John Gomes taking a moment to celebrate tonight as he remains focused on trying to win Tuesday's general election. Supporters of John Gomes celebrating his successful lawsuit as a judge orders a new Democratic primary in the race for Bridgeport mayor.
We will not stand quiet. They violated our civil rights, and we stood and we said we will not accept that. And we spoke clear and we spoke united. And today we are victorious.
Superior Court Judge William Clark calling surveillance video shocking. He found there was proof partisans had placed absentee ballots in drop boxes and determined with so many mishandled ballots, it calls the results of the primary election in serious doubt.
If it wasn't right the first time, got to do it again.
Kind of want to vote to make this a better place, and now we have to wait again.
Gomes lost to Mayor Joe Ganim. The judge has given everyone involved 10 days to come up with a plan for a new primary.
It's highly unusual, and really going to the courts tends to be the absolute last tool that could be used in politicos and candidates' toolbox.
Gomes is hopeful another primary is not needed. He's aiming to win the mayor's race in next week's general election and appears on the ballot as an independent.
And I encourage every voter more than ever that today the court has said your voice does matter. And I said to you, do not give up.
And the Secretary of the State releasing a statement saying she is pleased with the judge's decision and her office will work with the other parties to set a new primary date. Live in Bridgeport, Matt Austin, NBC Connecticut News. Mike, back to you.
Well, Democrats, it seems that you have played your hand. Unfortunately, a hand that is not making you guys look too good. It's a hand that is saying we are the bad guys because obviously there is some corruption here. It seems that you guys have been ballot harvesting, or at the very least with this typical type of election, for whatever god apparent reason. Because, you know, you think that's just the right thing. It's funny when they come out and say that, you know, any type of challenging the election, you're a supremacist, you are an election denier, you are against the country and all that great stuff. And it's just like, okay, so what about this here to where it was so egregious that the judge ordered a completely new election because you guys cheated so hard? And it had nothing to do on the actual right side of things. It's almost like you guys are projecting from yourselves and you're really the ones that are doing this, and it's really shining through. Now I'm going to want to show you guys a clip of the actual, of the new guy's candidate's lawyer kind of explaining, going over everything and how this was going, and the battle, the actual ballots and all this crazy stuff, because it's just insane that this is going on. We knew it was going on, but of course the Democrats are telling you, shh, no, that's bad, you're lying.
Bridgeport mayoral candidate John Gomez, thanks so much for coming on, appreciate it. All right, so first of all, just take us through what happened and what the judge has found here.
Well, this was probably the clearest case of ballot harvesting that I think has been proven really in the United States. There was repeated video, but around 20 different instances of campaign officials or others dropping multiple absentee ballots into the drop boxes in a couple of locations. Clearly, under Connecticut law, these were people that were not entitled legally to possess absentee ballots. There was pretty strong evidence that there was a coordinated effort to try to collect absentee ballots from voters. And of course, under our law, they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to, this is basically, absentee ballots are supposed to have the same sanctity as the voting booth. And just as you couldn't bring in one of these people into the voting booth, you shouldn't be handing them your absentee ballot.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty jarring case, and the video, Judge Clark called it shocking. I think most people would share that.
So what happens now? I mean, there's going to be an election on the 7th of November, right? With the current mayor's name on the ballot, correct?
Correct. And also John Gomes, my client, is also going to be on the ballot on a minor party line, on the independent party line. So this is the alternative. There are several alternatives that could happen here. If John Gomes wins on Tuesday, then the case is over. If Mayor Ganim wins on Tuesday, then there would be a new primary sometime, probably in December, I would guess, and then a new election sometime in January if Gomes wins the primary. So it's it's not an ideal situation by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a situation that is caused by massive absentee ballot misconduct. That's the reason we're here. That's the reason we're in this situation.
So now that we know that these people have obviously and clearly, did ballot harvesting and stuffing ballots and, rigging election, I want to know why the state of Connecticut hasn't really put these people into jail, considering there should be a criminal offense. The problem I have with this is that, yes, we can expose and tell all these people, okay, you did this, it's a problem, new election, but we're not having them arrested. I think we need to set a precedent in this country, that, you know, if you do stuff like this, if you actually try to rig an election, you're going to be spent X amount of years in jail. I don't see how this is much of a problem, and to probably, you know, persuade people not to do this, to not rig the election. There's another thing as well that I also want to go off as what he has said, is that, well, we have actual video evidence of, you know, people actively ballot harvesting and stuff like that. Well, what about the video evidence that we had during the 2020 election, to where that was also the case as well? A lot of people were talking about that, and or the Kerry Lake type of issue as well. We have some things here that have to be answered. And he also said that was from Democratic officials. Well, does it have to be Democratic officials? Does it actually have to be people from the actual Democratic Party that is doing it? Say, for instance, you know, maybe, you know, for instance, Eric Adams was going to go do this. Does it have to be somebody that's actually a candidate to have trouble, or can it be bloody anybody? Because it doesn't seem like it's clear enough, at least to me, to who gets the end of the stick here and who is the problem. And I think whoever does this, regardless of it's Democrat or Republican that does this type of harvesting, should be obviously put in jail for X amount of years and be stopped. I don't see to where this is such a big issue. Here in this country, we have a huge problem actually stopping people from committing crimes, or at the very least, if they do commit the crime, not punish them accordingly. So that's my issue. Now we have this here that has a lot to do with this. You know, Donna Brazile says she has proved Clinton rigged the primary against Sanders. And this is the former interim DNC chairwoman details how Clinton campaigned to control the party's finances during the 2016 election in her new book. But of course, constantly people are going out and saying, no, this didn't happen. You're a lie. Democrats don't do this and stuff like that. Yet we've seen already evidence and people coming out talking about how, like, well, this is an issue. This actually did happen. And now we have this here is rigging the primaries for Biden, putting South Carolina first as an effort to deter potential challengers. So, again, this is stuff that we're seeing time and time again throughout the Democratic Party. They are the ones that are being hypocritical. They're the ones that are honestly saying, are, you know, calling the kind of black, is that we didn't do this. We're not the ones. We're not the evil ones. And then what does it pertain to the actual current state of the whole Trump case? Because that's another thing in itself. Well, it's kind of obvious the type of political grab that they're doing here in terms of to win the possible primaries of anything. They want full control. The Democrats want full control of everything. And don't get me wrong, the Republicans are not any better. They're just as bad, especially the establishment Republicans that need to go. But the thing of the matter is that we see the Democrats do this time and time again. And I haven't seen very many Republicans do this. Now, of course, as I said, if they have done this, put them behind bars, call them out, and all that stuff. Because we don't want either party doing this. But the fact of the matter is that the Democrats are mostly doing this. And they're lying to people and saying they're not doing this when they actually have. I think the Democratic Party, at least when it comes down to most of them in this regard, are quite evil. And we're seeing this time and time again where their actual allies are just as evil as they are. So it comes to reason what's going on here, and got a way to say it. Well, alright guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, 'cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.